care. I do not care. I can play without a mount easily. Don't care about horses in Diablo. Now, we reached DARGONUS. And we leveled up. I left up at the Wasteland Wayfarer. There is some mini map. It's not DARGONUS, but we need to level up.
Of idleness. Let's move.
We gain percentage bonus to parry from toughness when they make us a priority target. Wait, carouse. Assassin. Psyker's attacks, including attacking with psychic powers, will now apply poison. Go with poison. Let's test it out, see how it works. With Argenta, there is that thing that rhymes. Slay and play. If you kill with slay, next one is a crit. Demolition. Pascal. Pascal can go with a ballistic. So it becomes 50. Crit against bleeding. You bleed as assassin. And then you get crit chance with Brutal Hunter. It's gonna hurt like crazy. Attacks of opportunity taunts enemies. Gives full cover to allies. with bulwark. Covering bulwark. Yeah, I just push Argenta behind Abelard non-stop. He counts as a full cover. Why the fuck not? That sounds good also. $200 athletics. Navigator. Lure for fellowship. Lure for. Now let's see what's this map. Mitrax, hello.
Victory awaits.
Is this a new map? I don't remember this from Alpha.
Never doubt me.
Hear a strange sound reminding you of a dripping water. Thick diary filled with entries written in neat, precise handwriting. Its author was documenting the events of his life with thoroughness bordering on obsession. After browsing through its pages, the following entries catch your attention. Exodus, Watch 1. Never thought this day would come. I'm addressed as Master Captain once again. How many times I've sworn never to set sail into the void again during those 2 Terran years I've spent among the mangled bridge ruins of the unheralded reckoning. Unfortunately, life in gravity, well, didn't bring me peace. Reverend Hieronymus promised me that performing a selfless feat of devotion would bring me serenity. Maybe he's right, but I'm still writing in the journal during the long nights to keep my sanity. Just like I did for 2 years there, and 7 Terran years after that, here. We'll see if I'll be able to live without that somewhere where our Wasteland Wayfarer is headed. The crew has reported hearing strange noises from the ventilation shafts for the 3rd time, unless I'm charged with pilgrims, not seasoned voidsmen. The venture scares them, so they already managed to make up their share of absurd ghost stories. I asked Reverend Gravik to calm them down. He's the official head of the pilgrimage, so they ought to listen to him. The vent inspection is finished. Just as expected, there was nothing to worry about, just some torn tubing hitting against the hull. Reverend Hieronymus was wrong. Fate does not bring me peace. I prefer not to take any sides in theological dispute that has unfolded aboard our vessel and ignore their debates altogether. I'll let Reverend Gravik handle it. I'm slightly concerned about this schism, but while both groups are peaceful and agree to listen to my orders, sure, they can bicker and shout all they want. The great day has arrived. The Wasteland Wayfarer has successfully landed on a planet's surface. I wonder if I'll ever leave it. The settlement is already being built downhill. Its official colonial designation is A3649 Minoris, but Reverend Gravik said he's going to name it Jessamon. When we first step onto the surface, Reverend Gravik's congregation and the nourishers use different airlocks to leave the vessel. Seems like they seized any and all communication between them. Today, the last colonists left the Wayfarer for Jessamon. I'm alone once again. They invited me to go with them, but I made up an excuse about needing to keep watch at the reactor since my ship is still used for powering the settlement. Truth be told, I just didn't want to go with them. They say less than 1,000 pilgrims are still loyal to Gravik. The services at the main temple are performed by the nourishers, and the Saint Drusus statue is cut only up to its knees. I don't understand their beliefs, but I don't think they will help me more than Reverend Hieronymus' fate. I was woken up in the middle of the night by a dozen pilgrims from Jessevon. They were armed and scared and said the nourishers had arrested Reverend Grevek. They were bewildered and didn't know what to do. They were waiting for me to do something. So I did something. Since Reverend Grevek is the official head of the pilgrimage, I deemed this incident an act of civil unrest. I've got power to Jessevon and demanded Reverend Grevek's release via Vox Communications. We prepared to hold the line. The nourishers have come to us. Grevek was with them. He was calm and said that the conflict had been resolved. He took the confused people with guns with him when I restored power to the settlement. I have no idea what's going on anymore. Peace. The watch is of no consequence. Today I received a brotherly kiss, and now I truly believe I can clearly see the spiral path among the stars paved for us by the Emperor Progenitor. Now I can hear my brothers and sisters. I'm finally not alone anymore. Sounds like a corruption. We got demons again.
New challenge for me.
O Messiah, grant me the wisdom to perceive.
Metal box was brutally forced open. Why would the ship's owners break into it if they could simply turn the key?
None shall stand in my way.
Experience? Nothing matters more.
I can't blame her.
I won't tolerate weakness.
The airlock is sealed. When we step inside, the place locked. I know about them to state the obvious, but I will state it anyway. There's something off about this. Something's very off. Open the airlock with tech. Check failed. Control panel refuses to heed any of your commands. Mischievous machine spirits are much too lively and unruly. The machine spirit controlling this airlock is too simple and guileless to be tricked. It would be easier to deconstruct this airlock than to compel it open. This is Rogue Trader speaking. We're having difficulties here. The white noise of static is all you hear in response. Either the Vox Master cannot reply, or she's brazenly ignoring you, or comms are being jammed. None of these possibilities bode well. Try to force it. Won't budge. Let's go.
Follow my lead.
We are imprisoned here.
The Emperor
The
favors
ventilation
me today.
system still works. Strange gouges on the metal. Look like claw mark of some beast that was trying to crawl into the shack. We don't have melta charges! Yo, how on bloody earth we don't have meltas?
I'll lay claim to the stars.
I always have meltas with me. Give me melt. Punch over the Voxcaster, the hooded man mutters monotonously but emphatically into the microphone as he rocks slightly to and fro. In the light of distant stars, our Emperor Progenitor wanders warily. With thoughts and visions of us, he sends us particles of his light. Though his body suffers, his mind lingers on us. Let us therefore nourish him with the light of our souls, with our prayers, with our faith. The faithful worship the Emperor under a great many names and after a great many fashions, and yet I do not like this prayer. Excellent, a Voxcaster that works. Now we can let this planet know I have graced it with my presence. Put your hands up, take off your hood, and don't make any sudden movements, or else you'll be dead before we're properly acquainted. As long as our father Progenitor thinks of me, I'm eternal. Welcome to the abode of nourishers. This is bad, very bad. Ready your weapon. Heinrichs recoils and grimaces and touches his temple as if pained by a headache. Look closer at the misshapen man, Lord Xenos. This being's nature has strayed too far from the mankind's blessed genome. The creed sees no humanity in deviations like this, and so it commands that such creatures be exterminated without mercy. The world is full of horrors, but your death will make it a much better place. May the grace of our progenitor be upon you. His words are piercing, becoming a shrill echo of 100 voices, minds growing ever louder. It torments your mind, and before you know it, you reach for your weapon. Hear a clanging echo growing louder in the empty modules, like hundreds of claws striking bulkheads and grabbing onto bars. Whoever is advancing upon you, there are a lot of them. You ought to run for your life before they trap you in this grand wax cabin. Countless foes in cumbersome position. O Emperor, I thank thee for giving us another chance to taste the sweetness of battle and the solemn joy of courageous deeds. Sister, I fear we're about to partake of something quite different, or more likely someone is about to partake of us. Make a dash for the wax caster and try to contact the ship. The wax spits out a torrent of static, through which you nonetheless manage to catch fragments of words spoken by a voice not unlike that of your Voxmaster. Von Valencia's command. The signal is lost before you manage to say anything. We must get out of this trap. Look for the cover. One look tells you there is nowhere to hide in this place. At least you haven't wasted too much time. They can smell our thoughts, they can see their color. Just like I can, there is no hiding from them. Hold still and listen. Clanging is getting closer, it's coming from the ventilation shafts and dried up fuel ducts. The deck under your feet vibrates, they're closing in. The psychic din grows more and more distinct as the abominations rush toward you. Rogue trader, I'm not sure if you have time for such things right now, but as a representative of the Inquisition, I can tell you that a retreat will not be judged as indicating a lack of faith in these circumstances. Plan your retreat. If you had had a few hours to explore the ship, you surely would have found any number of discrete shafts and unlocked modules you could use to leave the ship. As it is, you're only aware of a single possible escape route, through the airlock. Back the way you came, any other path might lead to a dead end. There's an old military adage that says, when you're already in the deep trouble, don't poke around anywhere unless you know what you'll find there. I propose we get out the same way we came in. Optimal retreat route calculated, delaying is not advised. Pascal. Ancient Force Sword. +1 for every rank of the Wilder Psy. What is this going around in circles? I got no melt. I missed fucking item over here. I don't know how I was left without Melta charges, man. I always have Meltas.
Suffer not the heretic to live.
Gene Stealer. Yeah, this is new. New content. It wasn't available in alpha. You shall not pass. Perry, motherfucker, Perry.
Holy terror,
Lead, you
smite
shit.
your enemies.
Now let me show you my Melta.
Let's see to it.
Boom! You I poisoned him also. Bleed and poison at the same time. Get in, Pascal. Let's test your crit. Play again, Pascal, the voice of command.
Already done.
Gene Stealer. You need like 10 of them, not one. 10. 10. Everything needs to be full with them, and if it's an escape, you need to reach the door. Okay, and they're advancing and advancing and advancing. So many that you just cannot fight. That makes sense with a conversation on the box there. Not one. One is silly. You need a swarm.
Suits my purposes.
So you can actually feel in danger. Oh, what Pascal does to the Gene Stealer.
Not a problem for me.
Dodge, dodge. This is, I guess, no need. Whack him. Fucker, you dodge. Okay.
I'll do it.
Let me peel you.
As the
Like
Emperor
that.
commands, I act.
Uh-huh. What now? Dodge now.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Dodge now. Now I'll show you dodge. Aim for the opening. Study him.
My vow is to serve.
Make that crit. Kill it.
Running binary code. High momentum.
88. 88. There's more Gene Stealers. This is what I was talking about. I want to see a swarm. A swarm of them. What's one? It's nothing.
Emperor, give me strength.
Move,
I'm
move.
afraid
Aish. Aish, aish, aish.
I
Play
am
again.
a navigator, not a servitor.
Nothing I can't do.
It's your time, Argenta.
Is now.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it.
Damn, son, where's your HP? Where's your HP?
All too easy.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Where's your HP?
If I may. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. Target well struck. At your beck and call. I will do my duty.
I won't object to it. Let's see to it.
High momentum.
Dear Fort.
Natural.
guided by faith.
As the tactical imperative dictates.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
My tactics are flawless.
Play, you little shit now, right?
I'll put my psychic abilities to use.
I'll play for you then. Let's bloody go. Your lordship, hold on. It needs to be a great idea. It needs to be fucking tougher. Tougher, I love it, but it needs to be, you know, on the verge, alright? It is brilliant idea, it's not executed well. It can be 10 times better. 10 times better. For sure. You need to feel the fucking pain while you try to escape from there. What was the name of the map? I'll need to report this immediately because I love it. And you people will wait till I report this to Alcat immediately. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I loved it, but it's not executed well. The name is the Wasteland Wayfarer. Okay, just so I do this quickly. Everything needs to be there, okay, on that map. Everything needs to be there. It's bloody brilliant. But it needs, you know, it needs challenge. It needs like 5-10 of those Jin Stalkers on you. You got time to figure out what's happening, okay? Then you got a round to prepare. You should have options. Whether you wanna defend the position until the door are opened. Whether you want to rush through those corridors. Picking corridor left, middle, right, different consequences, okay? Different enemies, number of enemies that can breach to you, okay? Scattering the entire team, trying to escape, and so on. It's got 1 million options, it's fucking brilliant. It just needs some execution. Wasteland Wayfarer, this is a new map in beta. It's bloody great. Just needs work. Very good idea. Very good. Like, when you escape, you need to escape by a quiver. Not full squad escaping like this. Easy. Okay? This was way too easy. You need to escape by quiver, with injuries, with, you know, you barely escaped from a ship that's swarmed with stalkers. Gene stalkers. You barely escaped, because that's how you explain it. In conversation. Yeah, they're creeping in, they're coming, everyone is panicking. Pascal is even panicking in this case. If they're all panicking, then it means that they should barely escape. Simple as that. In other words, what you say in conversation and what you say in a text, that's how it should be in gameplay also. It should be fucking tense. Brilliant. Really brilliant. I leveled up again. Level 28. Get out. Fellowship. Intellect. Slay and play. Awareness. Warglia. Ballistics. Jaya Hildari. Slay and play. Demolition. Demolition. Ballistics. Idir Atlas. The willpower. Psi rating 3. Willpower. Awareness. Apply. Garcia. Lord Warp. Willpower. Apply. Abelard. Athletics. Agility. Strength, toughness, agility. Heavy armor. Parry, dodge. He's got everything. Absolutely everything. Pascal. 70-50. Go with intelligence this time, we raise this to 50. Lord Xenos. Apply. Argentia. You'll go with demolition. Ballistics. Heinrichs. It's very simple how I see the game, at least, okay? Like every CRPG, when something happens in writing, in text, gameplay should resemble that. If, in the case of the Wayfarer, the entire team panicked, including the Inquisitor, Pascal, Abelard, everyone is under panic. They are about to die, and you escape like this, then it doesn't suit the story. And that counts for every single encounter, in not only in Rogue Trader, I'm speaking about CRPG as a genre. Okay. When you explain something in a text, it should resemble in gameplay. That's how you create immersion. One of the games that did it extremely well, probably the best. Like what it says, that's what it happens in gameplay. It would be Dragon Age Origins. Even though it's an easy game, but they did it. You know, they did it. And I wanted to see Rogue Trader do it too. Because that map is... It can be epic. And more maps like that, you know. That will also be great. Inquisitor. You already got weapon skill high. Go with a bit of ballistics. Because I do use ballistics also on him, I'm switching. Lord Imperium. Now, how did I run out of Melta? Fuck. Weird. How do I like the game? It's brilliant. It has potential to be huge. Street, you did the Chaos Marine, eh? Told you it's doable, you just need to keep trying. Guys, for those that want to check out what I think about the game, you have it on my YouTube channel, or simple type Rogue Trader review and you'll find it. My channel's name, Rogue Trader review, it's first in search on YouTube. Game is brilliant. Works. Easily trade from the ship, thank God. That's very good. And me not having Melta over there. And not a single faction selling Melta. They got extracticums, they don't have Melta charges. To the Coronus expanse. Let's go. We were in the Savannah world, yeah. Small planet gently wrapped in ember forest greets you with a ruby-colored dawn. Basil von dem Clerk, the local governor, gives the rogue trader a warm welcome. After several glasses of the mezzin, the sweltering ruler asks if von Valencia would like to keep in company during the upcoming hunt. Accept. After several hours of riding the local peculiar animals, you make camp in the middle of a golden forest. Basil von dem Clerk points at the sky. A flat disk rises over the horizon, constantly changing its color and shape. The forest grows silent and empty. You can no longer hear the singing of birds or even the rustle of wind singing of birds. The governor nods with satisfaction and a few shapes step into the clearing. Their bodies are twisted by unknown phenomena, and you watch the freaks with astonishment as they begin to dance to the throaty cackling of their brethren, turning the scaly hands covered in bony growths and pulsating flesh toward the unnatural thing in the sky. As the governor was going on, he smiles. You're about to see what's going on with your own eye. Watch in silence. The hypnotic dance seemed to continue forever. The unfortunate creatures howled, whined, and convulsed, unable to tear the bleeding eyes from the celestial body. When the Pavonian disc outshone the light of the local star, the physical shells of the things that used to be men burst, releasing the beasts not even the most fluent and capable pen can describe into the world. Basil von dem Clerk exceedingly explains that the creatures you saw are the children of the great king of distortion. It is he who is the true god and patron of these fertile grounds. Once every cycle his chariot shines its light upon the world and bestows transformation upon his most ardent followers. Rogue Trader may become one of his heralds. Execute the governor on spot. Express the desire to become the herald of King of Distortion. Execute the governor on spot. There's only one god, and he's the Emperor. The governor's head separates from the neck with a distinctive squelch. Black and brown blood seeps into the soil beneath his corpulent body and is immediately transformed into a boil of worms that burrow deep into the ground with unnatural speed. You return to the ship pondering what to do with the world, and more importantly, what to do with the King of Distortion. Ordered to chart the course to the anomaly known as the King of Distortion. The senior officers observe suspicious activity emanating from the twisted celestial body as the heart of the system. The chaplain advises to get ready for a potential encounter with a spawn of the archenemy, so it may be wise to reconsider unless you have holy relics, sacred wards, or blessed effigies of the Emperor. Golden Forest of Ember looks enchanting even from a full cargo of required fuel. Cleanse the world of heresy. Cleanse the world of heresy. We need torpedoes. Empty name. This was made for chaos. A flame with plethora of colors, the distorted celestial disk trembles slightly beyond the endless windows on the captain's bridge as the rogue trader's ship approaches its center. An otherworldly voice, cold and enveloping, enters your mind. What could this puny wretch possibly offer a king? The officers on the bridge look around, perplexed. Their eyes are full of terror and confusion. Many clutch their heads and let out long howls of pain. Some empty their stomachs, but most, pale and exhausted though they are, have joined the Lord Captain in resisting the entity's influence. Ask who you're talking to. Command the entity to release the minds of the Ember Worlders. You wish to become the herald of the King of Distortion. Leave the entity alone. Who you're talking to. An endless flow of images fills your consciousness. You see horrifying scenes of millions of tortured souls. Their screams rend your mind. Their pain pierces you with 1,000 red-hot needles. King, ruler, the one who is obeyed, that's all you can make sense of, although you see much more. Command them to release everyone. The king's mocking laughter rings in your ears, and a deep red trickle runs slowly from your nose and over your lips, leaving an aftertaste of salt and metal. Attack the entity with every cannon on board. How dare you disturb the king with trifles? The entity is furious and you feel a gust of invisible wind blow 1,000 blades right through your ship. Officers are collapsing at your feet, choking, and hundreds of casualties are being reported from every deck. A resonant silence descends on the ship, and a bright flash stuns you for what could be any length of time. So we need holy relics. If that's for the full release. Okay, this is all, I guess, huge test. I mean, fucking torpedoes. We escape. So we got a demon entity here. Last chance of Siren. I think I only got one question mark left, by the way. I explored every single sector that exists in Chapter 2 in detail. We haven't skipped a thing. There's only DARGONUS left after this too, and Chapter 3 begins. An unidentified object has been located in a system. The artifact reacts to your transmitters by releasing unknown radiation, most likely of Xena origin. Cogs are reporting. If you want to get a closer look, we need to close the distance between the vessel and the object. Hulk. Mysterious object. Cinerus Maleficum, Eternal Void Ship. Ah, this is a Stargate. Bridge, we got an unknown object dead ahead. Not an asteroid, clearly artificial in nature, but it's larger than Football Station. Copy that. Report relay to officer on duty and pilots. Expect visual soon. We have visual. What the fuck? Look out, this is the Wax Master. I'm adding the pilot, senior officer, and the Lord Captain to this channel. His Lordship wishes to assume personal command. Lord Captain, we requested intel on the object from the Augur array module, awaiting the response. Lord Captain on the line, no need to engage the Augurs. I know what it is, it's called a webway gate. Lord Captain on the line, what the Augurs show? Lord Captain on the line. The senior officer's take on this. We want to investigate. We know what it is. It's called a webway gate, Lord Xenos. Van Kalox here. What we see before us is a webway gate, an artifact that Xenos used to get their sorcerer's realm, so to speak. It allows Eldari to get around the sector quickly and serves as a hideout for their most unpleasant tribe, the Drukhari, whom we have already met. Irlet here, this gate is just like the one you saw on the Leviathan. The children of Asurian wander the void through such constructs, erected in ancient times. Any ship that passes through such a portal will enter a tangle of paths, fathomable to none but my kin. Is there any Augur report? According to available data, the object consists of an unknown material foreign to the Imperium. We are registering an unknown class of energy profile. Engineers are at a loss about how this technology works exactly, but it did specify that the energometry suggests that the system is holding an active charge. The object appears ready to do whatever it's designed to do. What's the senior officer's take on this? Can we activate the device somehow? The tech priests have refused even to consider such a possibility. It would be a violation of the Omnissiah's tenets and an extremely dangerous undertaking. Perhaps a certain companion of yours could. Even if I knew the secret of this gate, I would never surrender it to the monkey. The webway is our kin's sacred refuge and a deadly trap to those such as you, Elentach. All weapons fire on object. Destroy the object, activate batteries targeting, firing in 3, 2, 1, confirming contact with the object, good thrown, report, no effect. I don't know what the thing is made of, but our weapons are powerless against it. We're moving out. Practical. Desolate planet, devoid of send out a scouting party. Find out what happened in the world. We already had this encounter. Was the Hulk. Misclicked. I'm still online. I bloody misclicked. Final sector. Trust in the navigator's talent. humanity. The rogue trader familiar with the methods of the enemies of humanity, they will not catch an imperial vessel unaware.
The whispers sound distant. The future is uncertain.
God damn Eldari. A lot of Eldaris. They TP.
Unleash our vengeful salvo! Lead them! Fire right now! Macro cannon, volley!
That move was not that fucking sucked. That sucked, yes.
Strike them now!
How come there's 5 if I did? Ah, it counts this.
Fire right! Fire the last batteries!
torpedo. Let's go. Michael Jackson move.
This one's going down. Torpedoes locked.
Good. Excellent. Ildari Aconite. 200 HP on that.
Bleed them. Fire the lance batteries. Another salvo!
We lost the shield. Emperor, protect us.
Pure tremble.
Unleash our vengeful salvo!
Rough fight.
Bleed them. Fire the lance batteries!
Rough fight. Very rough. Hopefully that brigade kills that one. I'm going after the biggest ship. Torpedoes are way too close. Can they reach? think they can. That can cost me dearly. It's not smart to go for that. It's gonna cost me. I'd rather go for this too. Yeah, that's terrible. And nuke me.
Lead them. This one's going down.
Rather like that.
Macro cannon.
It's fine, we're under shields. But bloody torpedoes are everywhere, man. Everywhere. That's bad. My frigate is out. Holy shit, the amount of torpedoes.
Lead them. Fire the lance batteries. Annihilate them. Leave their hull strewn across the town!
God. Huh? That sucked. But this is that. Searching can do that, man. That was 38. I think it was a bug. Anyways, it worked. Extracticums left. Xeno's origin planet, Xeno activity, no sign. Send a recon team. DARGONUS. We did it all. There's only DARGONUS left. And we're done. Like Yavagama, man. Visit, 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 visit. Fuck off. The last Uncharted system. I wanna double check, but I think that we did it all. This leads to the Imperium, the Ma that's closed. We're locked in, basically. That's the main story of the game. Nothing goes in and nothing goes out of this way. Okay, this leads to Terra, to Earth. But it's not working for some reason. That's the main story of the game. You're there to discover what's happening. So, Mundus Valancius. We're gonna make it safe. Green. Restore the operation of the administrative apparatus on DARGONUS. What do we got from orders? Let's complete every bloody thing that's available. Don't check the journal at all. Why would I? Chart. And that's it. To the home world. This is a long part, a really long part. Lord Captain, Master Helmsman on the line. I can report that the quest for the capital world of the Von Valancius dynasty is finally at the end. DARGONUS is straight ahead. We received countless greetings. Your subjects would like to know when their master will be arriving. Tell DARGONUS that the rogue trader is coming home. Will be done. Rogue trader coming home after the bug. To Dargonus. Let's go. So, to do everything in the game. Am I gonna do the count? And I wasn't prolonging anything at all, just so we make clear. To reach Dargonus, if you want to do everything that exists, to 100% everything in beta, Prologue, Chapter 1, and all sectors in Chapter 2 before triggering the homeworld, like I did now, exactly 60.1. So I was making pauses and so on. This would be around 55 hours to reach Dargonus. That will be the game time in beta. On a full release, it's probably gonna be like 65 to 70 hours if you want to do everything to reach Dargonus. Oh, we missed that for some reason. Mind you, that ain't it. Okay, I got this is playtest 60 hours, and here I got 49.2, 50 hours and 60, 110 hours now. Because I got two versions. This is Ultimate Edition. I'm gonna play this one once the game is fully out, and this is the version that Alkid gave me. Basically those keys that I was giving away, 50 of them. That's the version I'm playing also. You Dargonus. We're back home. Paparazzi. The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your lordship. Clementia Verserian. This is the daughter. Abelard's daughter. Stately woman in long full dress uniform makes a graceful curtsy. Her short grey hair does not obscure her stern features. I'm Clementia Verserian, the court chancellor of the von Valancius dynasty. On behalf of all Dargonus, please accept my deepest condolences on the ultimately passing of Theodora von Valancius. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all, but as one star expires, another always flares to life. And although still overcome with bitterness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become the Trey dynasty guiding light in these trying times. Clementia. Abelard offers a reserved nod. She nods in return, and the lines of his brow soften ever so slightly. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burned face and bows his head courteously. His raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin metal fingers creak quietly as he offers a welcoming gesture. Achilles Calendar, Secretary at the Administrative Department, hope your journey to Dargonus was not darkened by unwanted troubles. Heinrich was speaking about this one. He works for the Inquisition. The Emperor protected us on a journey through the stars, and may he remain merciful to us till the end of time. Does your lordship wish to survey the grounds, or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering any questions you might have? Governor Urban, the Drives team, has been notified of your arrival on Dargonus and will visit the palace shortly. Preparations for the official visit are well in hand, but your lordship still has plenty of time before the meeting. What did you say your last name was, Clementia? Verserian. House Verserian, Lord Aberral's granddaughter and direct descendant. The cessation of service is an effective good. It grants new generations understanding of their function within the mechanism. Pascal, how he explains this. Yeah. Chancellor Verserian has held her position at the Von Valencia's court for many years. She earned Lord Captain Theodora's respect through acts of great perseverance. There is no room for doubt. Blood had nothing to do with it. The Emperor blesses those who strengthen humanity's domain through their deeds. You have reason to be proud of your progeny. Thank you, Lord Captain. Why isn't the governor here with you to greet me? Apologies, your lordship, Governor Drivestam's residence is on the other side of the world, by the administrative palace of Dargonus. We sent word as soon as you enter the system. It takes time to travel the great distances of your domain. Chancellor Verserian appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought that the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture designed to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with a new rogue trader. I would like to rest before the meeting. Where are my chambers? They are very close, just down the hall. That is also where the study and the audience chamber are. Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her late departure. On account of your arrival, we arranged for it to be tidied up, ready whenever you may need it. I apologize for my bluntness. I have a request to make. Perhaps before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain could spare a few minutes for a conversation. I am certain that you will find my report on the state of affairs in the Von Valencia's protectorate most useful. I need to put air condition on. 1 second. On Valencia's palace. Not allowed to go left and right. I'm not allowed to go left and right. At all. Everyone wants to speak with us now. On Valencius Palace. They all react when you pass. A room. Remains of plaque can be seen on the frame. Alas, the inscription is completely indistinguishable due to the putty. The golden throne. Bears the names of order, theologians from DARGONUS. Books are trimmed with gold. Paint mark on polished mantles. Rogue trader's bed. This needs to be done. Big piece of furniture is obviously well cared for. Its surface is still covered with lots of scuffs, scratches and stains, traces of the previous rogue traders who sat at this table. Limits. My palace and it's off limits. According to the inscription on the statue, this is a gift from House Gaprak to the Von Valencius dynasty. Oh, no one can use this. Yeah. Although, let's give it a shot again. It says Pascal. Should be able to succeed. Shoot. Big clocks. Of course, Cassia is looking at paintings.
Something of interest.
Explicit calendar. The throne. Von Valencia's dynasty throne, visible symbol of rogue trader's power, which now belongs to you. Pascal. Speak with Scalander. Ilias, it's been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well. She's not in good health. She sends her regards, as well as her wishes for your swift return. For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues, so it does. I'm not so foolish as to fail to notice a conversation in the code. Your insight deserves credit, rogue trader. Then again, I expected nothing less from Theodora von Valencia's successor. Allow me to introduce Achilles Calendar properly. In addition to his duties as Secretary of Administration, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master Calendar was transferred into my remit by a colleague who is engaged in other matters of the Corunus Expanse. I'm sure you will find Achilles' service useful, especially when dealing with the schemes of humanity's foes within the borders of your protectorate. Greetings. Allow me once again to express my deepest condolences on the loss of Lady Theodora. I will do everything I can to track down and destroy all of Kunrad Wojtyvir's accomplices on the capital world. What has become of Kunrad? Word of his treason reached Dargonus too late. Kunrad came to the planet and left it almost immediately, once he had sown discord in the minds of the gullible and naive. The worst of the rumors he started was that you were on the responsible for the Lady Theodora's sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subjects did their best to skin alive any who showed signs of doubt. It seems unlikely that the Wardens got to everyone who has allowed doubt into their heart and now nurtures in secret. A report. Already forwarded all official reports to your seneschal. As far as for the conversation we're having right now, wouldn't trust any paper or data slate with its contents. See, Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, was perfectly aware of Dargonus' political environment. You, however, have only just arrived on the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles of Dargonus, much like nobles of most worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whoever is the weakest, or whoever they deem to be the weakest. The nobles of Dargonus are well-respected, rich and powerful individuals who held Lady Theodora's favor for many years and found ways to rise above the rest by diligently serving the rogue trader. Every family pursues its own selfish interests, and each one expects that with the transition of power, they will retain and even add to their lands and wealth. The families I would recommend giving particular attention to are drive stamps, the Gapraks, and the Sewerbacks. I should also mention the Verserians, not a noble house per se, but a family that was part of Lady Theodora's inner circle. To the Blue Blood's great displeasure. Tell me about the drive stamps. They're the ancient governor house of Dargonus. Predictably, the greater the wealth of the von Valancius protectorate, the fuller their coffers grow. Their reputation is flawless except for one detail. We have evidence that urban drive stamps rivals seems to have misfortune of regularly failing victim to Xenos raids. I find that these attacks are always a little too advantageous for the drive stamps, but we lack solid proof, and it might never surface. The closer an official is to a rogue trader, the braver and safer they feel. I would just like to remind everyone that rubbing shoulders with Xenos is a heresy that can be overlooked only in the case of the von Valancius heir, not his servant. What makes Gaprak special? The Gapraks hail from a remote Forge world, and among their distant relatives there are many servants of the Omnissiah, and the house itself close to the cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus, both in spirit and in their business connections. The Gapraks oversaw the industrial shipments within your protectorate until recently. Ever since the astropathic communication with Kiava Gamma was severed, they've been quite concerned about the security of the planet placed in their care. I've been to Kiava Gamma. Planet was tainted by the cult of the Final Dawn. These are grim tidings. It's a tragedy that an industrial world of such tremendous capacity was brought down by the pernicious influence of the archenemy. Perhaps my colleagues can pick up the cultist trail in the cold void. Of course, it would be a small consolation to us all. Tell me about the house Sewerback. Sourback. Religious and hardworking, Sourbacks own many enterprises of the world of Sentinel's Pride, including the distillation manufactorums that produce Prometheum. I must know that lately members of the Sourback family have been prone to overly liberal statements about the von Valencia's dynasty. They believe that Lady Theodora is a bit too keen to leave her worlds without proper oversight. I would like to know more about the Verserians. Verserians are a line founded by Lady Theodora Seneschal, and as such are nominally considered nobility, at least from the standpoint of the Imperial Navy from which Lord Abelard hails. On Dargonus, however, their position is precarious. Firstly, they never were granted an official title, a process which has been impeded for decades by the old houses of Dargonus, and secondly, the other families do not see them as equals, but more as upstarts clinging to the rogue traders' favor. Verserians are responsible for the capital world fleet and the majority of the cargo shipments on domestic routes. After healing all that, now I feel the urge to have every one of those psychopaths executed at once. You are naturally well within your right, rogue trader, but remember that this will cause multi-layered bureaucratic system of Dargonus, of your entire protectorate in fact, to come apart it seems. And that's not even considering the likelihood of attempted reprisals from their families and allies. I would hold off on the death sentences, act with restraint and wisdom, present for all to see sufficient proof of unwanted house guilt. Do not mistake me, mass executions are one way to solve your problems, but in that case you should weigh up every possible scenario before you act. Enough about nobles. Anything else? There was, at this time, it concerns the main reason for my presence on this planet, Xenos and the threat they pose both to you and to humanity as a whole. The last few months have been difficult for the people who reported to me. My eyes and ears scattered through the Coronos expanse, warp disturbances, astropods overcome with madness, ships disappearing in the Immaterium. Many of my observers and contacts have gone dark or have been killed by some calamity or other. Still, I managed to establish communication with some key individuals who were able to warn me about incoming threats, including Xeno raids. It is within my power to supply you with intelligence on where and when the Xenos will strike next. I do not doubt the Governor Drivestem will beg you for protection against the Xenos, and in this fight the information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, if I ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss. Sometimes it takes an intervention from the rogue trader and his mighty void ship to avert a disaster. What are your responsibilities? I'm a secretary at this World Administrative Department, less officially. I'm afraid I can't disclose that even to you. In short, I collect and investigate reports of heresy taking root on upstanding planets of humanity. Above all else, I'm concerned about the Xenos threat that hangs over the entire Coronos expanse, including your protectorate. Sadly, my mission was complicated by the recent warp disturbances. I'm still trying to re-establish contact with many of my agents. About your unofficial work. Whom do you truly serve, the rogue trader or the interrogator of the Inquisition? Kilias quickly glances at Heinrichs. And whom does the rogue trader serve? The Golden Throne, the Protectorate? Could it be that one stems from the other? And if so, is there any sense in discussing it? I want a list of all of your agents, and that means to contact them. I understand your desire as a rogue trader to have everything under your control, and yet I'm not at liberty to make use of classified information related to the interrogator's agents in whatever way I see fit. There's no point in pressing my agents. None of them would ever reveal such vital information, especially not in my presence. Dargonus has no need for spies from the Inquisition. Big gun. I learned what I wanted. We keep the Inquisition. Tell me about the Xenos. Residents of the local systems are no strangers to skirmishes with enemies of humanity. Recently, the loathsome beasts seem to have completely flown off the handle. We're receiving reports from ships that made it through the warp to Dargonus. Both they and the colonies that they departed from are being attacked. We have identified the breed of Xenos that poses this threat, the Eldari, humanity's ancient and insidious foes. Be vigilant on your travels. The Xenos will undoubtedly attack a rogue trader's ship should they find the circumstances to be in their favor. Unfortunately, in the host of humanity there are those who are willing to grovel before our enemies in the hopes of a valuable reward. You may be interested to know that we're on the trail of such heretics. Overwhelming evidence indicates that the marauded void station in Langren's belt is being used as a base by a band of pirates who are not above dealing with Xenos. I was unable to persuade the Chancellor of the need to dispatch a ship there, but perhaps you would like to pay a courtesy call to those scoundrels yourself. You know anything about the cult of the Final Dawn? Limited. All my attention has been focused on tracking Xenos. Certain that one Kellogg's can tell you much more. The scars on your face, what happened? 5 years ago there was an accident, several tanks of Promethium exploded in a storehouse at my estate. I was buried alive with the rebel. The Emperor preserved my soul, and the skilled physicians of Dargonus saved my body, except for my lungs, with which I had to part. I presume the incident was an attempt on my life, but the identity of whoever was behind it remains a mystery. According to the message I received a few minutes ago, Governor Drivestamp has arrived. I imagine that the Chancellor is already prepared to arrange the meeting. Tell Chancellor Verserian that you are ready. Verserian, Clementia. The Governor is waiting on the periphery of the palace. Please let me know when you would like to see him. Awareness failed. Who failed it? Me? Does Skellender cause any problems? None at all. Your Lordship Secretary Skellender is an outstanding individual and a loyal servant of the von Valancius dynasty. In Lady Theodora's absence, we collaborated on a number of issues related to the well-being of your domain. He proven himself quite capable. Even the Governor trembles before Achilles, which is unusual for a man of his, shall we say, standing. Tell me about Dargonus. All deals, import decisions are made here in the capital many years ago. An ancestor of Lady Theodora signed an agreement with the Adeptus Administratum which allowed for efficient management of the world and the neighboring systems. In accordance with the decree, a share of the planet's population was assigned to the Administratum and converted into servitor scribes. They now toil across the entire world. Dargonus is also the seat of several noble families. Okay, we know. Already spoke with and lastly, we got our own fleet. Does the capital stay in contact with the other worlds in the Protectorate? Not at this time. Unreliable communication. If the noble houses are so volatile, what sense is there in keeping them? Over the many centuries, an intricate hierarchy has formed within the ruling elite of Dargonus. The great houses do more than plunder your treasury. It is replenished to a large degree, thanks to their administrative work and their lands. Naturally, you can get rid of anyone whom you consider surplus to requirements, but right now it could threaten the fragile stability that is currently holding the Protectorate together. Any other issues? Apart from the disrupted communications, Dargonus was recently raided by enemies of humanity. However, the fleet under the command of Captain Martius Verserian triumphed over the accursed Xenos. If you ask my opinion on this matter, we got the situation completely under control. You catch her avoiding your gaze for just a moment for the first time. It's obvious that Clementia is looking out for her house's good name, but despite the confidence in her tone, you can tell that she does not entirely believe her own words. Tell me about... we know about Drivestamp. I'm ready. "20th in his line. We're the 20th von Valancius in the line. Keeper of the Sacred Warrant and ruler of the Coronus Expanse, from the Hranach to the 100 Dreams Crossroads, I bid you welcome. Urban Drivestamp, governor of this great world, first and foremost, please accept my deepest condolences. It will be difficult to recover from the loss of a woman as great as Theodora von Valancius. Pains me to think that she is no longer with us. Citizens of Dargonus and of the entire Protectorate grieve alongside you. Please allow us to declare half a year of mourning, so that we can honor the memory of our beloved lady." "You will declare a full year of mourning. I'll immediately give all necessary instructions. Lady Theodora was a strong leader, and we ought to follow her example. Let us lean on or wisdom and preserve in spite of this tragedy together, and let us carry on where she no longer can by leading the Von Valencius Protectorate to even greater prosperity. Alas, it won't be an easy task to accomplish. Some time ago, the astropods of Dargonus flew into rage, and they had to be subdued. We're gradually restoring our ability to speak with the neighboring worlds, but the contacts are still weak, and the routes are tangled and no longer lead to the systems that the captains expect them to. Given that the vast majority of ships in the Dargonus Navy travel without relying on the services of navigators, without your engagement, the well-being of the Von Valencius dynasty and billions of its subjects is presently at risk. I said Dargonus is talk, ambush, and chapter 3 begins. There's a lot of talking. No, Skelander belongs to the Inquisition, the Imperium. We got Imperium, Benevolentia, and Heretic. He's the Imperium. We met a ship from Dargonus not too long ago. Crew was transporting a strange artifact and went mad during the flight. Kunrad Wojtyvir, former Master of Whispers, is a heretic and a traitor, as he shown his face on Dargonus. Visited the capital some time ago. He did not request a personal meeting. A heretic. Now I see where all the whispering in the corridors has come from. I'll be frank, your lordship, Lady Theodora's sudden death was a blow to every one of us. In the absence of any source of verifiable and complete information about her successor gives grounds for all manner of rumors and misinterpretations, especially if someone is deliberately inciting unrest and discontent. Naturally, none would dare challenge you by accusing you of something as sacrilegious as murdering a rogue trader. However, Kunrad Wojtyvir was once a true boon to the Protectorate back in the day, and as such some might heed his words. Publicly rip out the vocal cords and tongues of every slanderer and replace them with wax implants that sing the praises of rogue trader without interruption. I should think that will serve as a reminder of who rules this world. I couldn't care less what people think of me. Subject all who had dared to make heretical remarks about the rogue trader to servitude in perpetuous. Machines aren't prone to dissidence. I'll immediately make all the arrangements so that your order can be carried out properly. We met a ship from Dargonus. Crew was transporting a strange artifact and went mad. Pretty regrettable bit of news. What's more, leaving Dargonus has been forbidden for several cycles now. Seems Versarian family have once again filled in their primary responsibilities. We will investigate this at once, as well as the fact that the ship had to acquire a permit with the administrative seal. Does your nephew still serve at the administrative palace? I don't understand. The ship did indeed depart from orbit, but it did so, if you can believe it, on the rogue trader's authorization. That is why no one dared to impede its departure. Lord Captain, it would seem that Kunrad somehow got his hands on a copy of your authorization, or perhaps even the original. A tool like that in the hands of a traitor does not bode well. What exactly do the Dargonus nobility expect from me in the light of the loss of routes and communication with other worlds? We're all troubled by the fate of the agri-world Janus that supplied Dargonus and other planets with foodstuffs. Empty stomachs can drive even the mildest rebel to revolt. Furthermore, House Gaprak is perturbed by the loss of communication with industrial world Kiavagama, which is in their charge. But if you wish to know my opinion, the world that deserves your attention the most is the penal world, Vibos 6, one of the key mining suppliers in your protectorate. Such intriguing concern for Vibos 6 outpost. Doesn't your house happen to own the extraction stations there? Your lordship, I beg of you, do not interpret my words as an attempt to influence your decisions in any way. You see, without Vibos 6, the manufactorums on your worlds will need to make haste to find new suppliers elsewhere and arrange for new shipments, and in these troubling times they run the risk of delays and other most tragic mishaps. My only concern is for the prosperity of von Valancius' dynasty. I've been to Kiava. Gamma industrial world was overtaken by a cult of chaos worshippers. Such woeful tidings. Your lordship, I assume that House Gaprak is in for an official investigation. If I may remind you, they have particularly close ties to Adeptus Mechanicus and serves as patrons of Kiava Gamma, not to speak in the defense of criminals, but from where I stand, the outbreak of heresy in Kiava could hardly have been perpetrated by a noble family who stands to lose majority of their wealth should the industrial world fall. I doubt Gaprax had anything to do with this incident. I'm glad that our views on this matter align. What about the industrial world? Are we to expect trade to recommence? Production facilities of Kiava Gamma will serve humanity once more, rest assured. House Gaprak will be overjoyed to hear it. I thank you for dispelling the darkness around the fate of Kiava Gamma. I've visited Janus. Governor Viat found herself facing a number of problems in my absence. Viat line is one of the oldest in the von Valancius protectorate. If the inheritor of such well-respected blood could not handle whatever had befallen her, then the situation must have been extraordinary indeed. Cursed Xenos took Vistenza's life, her death was avenged. Vistenza succumbed to worshipping the ruinous powers and was executed. Vistenza is no longer in charge of the world, she's dead. I delivered Janus into more capable hands. She was worshipping the ruinous powers and was executed. Drivestem pales in terror. It is clear from the unseemly grimace on his aristocratic countenance that he is not feigning his fear. Ruinous powers, truly horrifying news. I commend your resolve and unwavering severity. Death to the enemies of humanity. That does it for the planets and trade routes. What else? I don't rightly know where to begin. Otherworldly beasts are not an uncommon sight in the Coronus Expanse. They've been a menace to the worlds this side of the Ma for decades, but now those abominations are on the rampage. They show no signs of fear as they attack ships, either demanding them to the point where they become unfit for transport duty or outright gutting them. Only you have the power to stop this madness. We're in the process of restoring the astropathic choir of Dargonus. Luckily, we were forced to slay only some of the deranged psychers, although those that remain are as yet unable to transmit messages. I hope Master Scalander will keep his word and offer you his support in the war against the Xenos. According to his reports, Region Vibos 6 has been of particular concern in the last few cycles, which is all the more reason to discover the colony's fate as soon as possible. Now to issues on a smaller scale. There's a certain degree of tension in the capital due to the unorthodox succession to the Sacred Warrant. Chances of uprisings are minimal, of course, and the spreading of rumors is nothing but a sign of weakness of mind and spirit. Nonetheless, I prepared a list of minor houses that have demonstrated unseemly discomposure at your succession. What's to be done with them? Eliminate the most prominent malcontents quietly. Do not threaten entire families. Hopefully these steps will be enough to keep the rest from causing any more trouble. I care not what those hyenas are yapping about behind my back. Leave them be. Make arrangements for public purges. All who sullied the rogue trader's name must meet their death on the executioner's block. Send the disgruntled nobles lavish gifts on my behalf, and make sure that my generosity does not go unnoticed by the rest. Eliminate the most prominent malcontents quietly. Do not threaten entire families. Hopefully these steps will be enough to keep the rest from causing any more trouble. Once your lordship's wrath descends upon the guilty, have no doubt there won't be a soul on Dargonus willing to share their fate. And last thing, your inauguration as a bearer of the Sacred Warrant is but a matter of time. I would like to inquire about one crucial detail. I imagine you're intending to uphold the centuries-old tradition, bolstered by an equally long-lasting friendship, of being represented on Dargonus by one of the noble houses. I presume that as before, this duty will be accorded to House Drivestem. There is no need to alter any traditions. The dynasty will be represented by House Drivestem, House Gaprak, House Sourback. Verserians will do it. I suppose I'll bestow this honor upon the Verserians. Lord Captain, to accompany you at such a critical hour is the greatest honor for the Verserian bloodline. Have no fear, we will not fail you. Drives Temptasis Abelard a look that lacks even the smallest shred of respect. Forgive my boldness, but I must remind you that Verserians, whose lineage traces back to a Navy officer... That's not... My cats are going crazy after 12. Especially after midnight. Immediately relay your commands. That will be it, I take it. When's the ceremony? Until you deal with the pressing issues, the ceremony will have to be postponed. Many trade routes are still unavailable. The central world of the Von Valencia's protectorate are going through a crisis. And warp disturbances. If void observers are to be believed, will prevent important guests from reaching the capital. Xenos race, Vibos 6, further investigation on Vibos 6. This is where it begins. There are things to do, okay. We won't see chapter 3 till, well, next 5-6 hours, I think. For sure. But it is the final part of chapter 2. I can pick blocks. Bloody hell. That's the point.
We need to investigate.
I need to go to Vibos 6. Where is Vibos 6 in what area? Mortus. Vibos 6. Mortis Aces. During the warp voyage, navigation chambers report there are warp reefs. Approach the warp reef. Navigator. We have cross-referenced the key characteristics of the system with our astronautical chart data. The planet Vibos 6 is located here. Problem is, the augurs detect an unusual change in the atmosphere, not unlike a massive release of toxins. It appears that something unfortunate happened to the planet underground storage facilities. Impossible to land safely on the planet just now. Unknown ships are cruising in the system. No need for any cog to analyze. I can decipher this telemetry easily. Xenos, armory and artillery crews are standing by. Find out what's happening on Vibos 6. I completely forgot there's the entire planet, man. Spend 50% less scrap on repair. Sanctified restart. Apply. Medium dorsal lens. 36 damage, 56. 3 shots, 19 damage. 2 shots, 10 damage. 3 shots, 19 damage. Port and starboard. 7-3. 36. Ship bugged out, as usually. Drukaris. Oh, I remember Vibos 6 now. The prison arena. And Drukaris fight.
This hallowed vessel's bulkheads will hold
Fucking hell, I hate Drukaris. I hate them.
Fire the lance batteries! Unleash our vengeful salvo! This one's going down. Fire the last batteries.
I absolutely hate them. They're broke. Broken. Can only deal damage with torpedoes.
Bleed them.
It's literally to freak out. And they refuse to fire.
This one's going down. Torpedoes locked. Fire right now!
Blessed plasma fire.
Let me see you fucking survive this. No, not real. Come on, come on.
Bleed them.
There you go, team me again.
Fire the last batteries. Bleed them. Annihilate them. Torpedoes locked.
Boss 6. This is where I left off. There is a huge fight, then there is going back to DARGONUS, ambush, ceremony, Inquisitor, and then chapter 3 begins. That's what we're gonna play tomorrow. For tonight I'll stop here because it's 1 AM and I've been live for nearly 11 hours. Guys, it's way too freaking late. Thanks for watching, and I wish you all good.